Customer Success Convos. Join the biggest names in customer success for a video series that brings together leaders within the field to discuss the latest trends, innovative insights, and most effective strategies within customer success right now. Hosted by Vish Walia. Whether you're new to customer success or a seasoned professional, Vish and his guests will leave you with actionable advice, takeaways, and top tips to enhance your customer experiences.
Hey Vish, thanks for having me today. Super excited to be here.
Likewise. Thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to this session. The first and the foremost thing that we want you to share with us is give us a brief introduction about your role, what you do at ONA, and the unique and very interesting title you have, Chief Customer Officer. What does that entail?
Well, I think I have the best job at ONA because I am responsible for ensuring our customers are successful. And that means initially at the time of purchase and then continually throughout their customer journey. And to help better align that, as you mentioned, I'm responsible for sales, success, technical support, partnerships, and our professional services organization. So there's a lot going on over there.
I love that. And the one thing that fascinates me is that you are the leader of both sales and customer success. So if you can throw some light on what were some of the unique and new initiatives that you introduced at ONA that developed more alignment between sales and customer success.
Yeah. I think it's super important for success to get involved early on in the sales cycle. Now, you can't do this for everyone, especially when you're trying to scale your organization. But for definitely your larger accounts, we want to engage our customer success directors early on in the sales cycle, whether this be at the proof of value or the evaluation that a customer is doing. Or for our smaller customers, we have content created that the AEs can use in their first call decks. And this is really important to me because I've had customers tell me that the reason why they went with us over a different vendor is they truly felt like we were going to partner with them throughout their entire journey versus just selling them something and walking away.
I totally concur on that because that could be a game changer, right? You bringing customer success early in the game and building that trust that will stay with the customer throughout their customer life cycle. So, kudos to you for bringing that change. And as we know, every change has its challenges. Yeah. So tell us about, some of the challenges that you faced when you were, thinking or introducing these new concepts and processes at ONA. And what were those? And how did you address those?
Yeah, there's some that are super easy to fix right away, which is the content and just creating content that any AE can use at any point in time to say, this is what success is, and here's what we do, and here's why we want to become your trusted advisor, and here's how we're going to accomplish that. Okay. The stuff that takes a little bit longer is really ensuring that there is a smooth handoff from the pre-sales to the post-sales process. So we have different triggers set in our systems, again, depending upon the deal size as to when the success person will get involved in the pre-sales cycle. And then right before a deal closes, if it's one of our larger enterprise accounts, the success person is actually responsible for scheduling an internal onboarding call to ensure that all the data and information that we collected in the pre-sale side is
No, Michelle, I totally concur with you on that, right? Bringing customer success early in the sales process is a game changer, right? It helps to build that trust with the customer that stays with on the customer throughout the customer life cycle. So, I'm sure that change that you brought, bring a lot of results. But as we know, every change has its own challenges. So tell us about some of the challenges that you faced when you brought either new ideas or new processes in the play. And how did you address those?
Yeah, change is always interesting, especially for AEs. Some of them are really easy. I mean, creating the content for the AEs to use in their first call decks was super simple. What was a little bit harder is really ensuring we were setting up an internal handoff call for onboarding. So when we know a deal is about to close, the customer success person will set up an internal onboarding call. And that's to ensure that all of the information that we have collected in the pre-sales process is shared with the success team, with the professional services project manager, and with the partner if a partner's involved as well, because we want to make sure we've got alignment on why a customer is originally purchasing and then what their ultimate goals are. So we're setting the stage for incremental early on in the life cycle. And this is extremely important to me because I think one of my biggest pet peeves is when you have a prospect going through the pre-sales cycle and you have a BDR ask some questions and the AE comes in and qualifies more, and then the technical resource comes in and qualifies more. The last thing in the world you want is for the success person to come in and be like, oh, why are you buying my product? I mean, the customer's head just wants to explode. So this internal onboarding step really ensures that we're presenting all the data to the customer in the right fashion, where they feel like we've listened to them, and then we know what they want to be when they grow up, and we can help them get there.
No, I totally, agree with you on that. How many times we get asked by, CSRs from, our different vendors on the same questions, right? So I totally, understand that if you have chalked out that internal onboarding plan and the customer success manager or professional is more prepared, for that introduction call with the customer, that goes a long way, right? So, so exactly, like it can bring a lot of good results. Now, I know a lot of customer success leaders in today's day and age are striving to find that balance, right? That right alignment of customer success with sales or with support or consulting. So what would be your advice to those customer leaders who are thinking about this to find that right balance and right alignment with other cross-functional teams?
Yeah, it's really important to have those swim lanes defined so people understand internally and even your customers so they know where to go to. And we spend a lot of time working on our onboarding content again. So when a customer joins, we can say, okay, this is your ONA team org chart. This is the team that's put in place to make sure you're successful. Here's your AE. Here's their roles and responsibilities. Here's your renewals person, their roles and responsibilities. You have a break fix question, tech support is a great resource for that. If you have a how-to question or you don't know where to go to for something, success is a great person for that. You need help with implementation work? Hey, let us introduce our professional services team to help you with that. And that really helps alleviate any confusion externally, but also internally within, ONA.
Awesome. Last but not the least, customer success practitioners, right? Our soldiers on the ground who are day in, day out working, with the different teams, with the customer to ensure. What, practical tips would you offer to them so that they know, when they're working with these cross-functional teams who have different agendas and sometimes different objectives, to work together to drive customer success?
Yeah. Wow, it's fun. I always say we need to find folks that want to play well in the sandbox and can handle a lot of pressure because success is a hard job. Like, I don't think people realize that, and we need to build out our empathy where people spend a day in somebody's shoes so they know what's going on. So for my success folks, one, it's important that the hiring managers are looking for people that have grit, they're dedicated to the customers and are hiring the right people that can get along with anyone, because I'm an AE at heart. Every AE is different, which is what is part of the fun of the psychology around the AEs, but you got to find that thing that's going to click with those AEs. And then the same with the customers. Some are really easy to get along with, some are more challenging. So I always coach people, you've got to find that one common bond that you all have in common and work off of that, because you have that shared success. You just need to figure out how you gel and how you work with people. It's the whole EQ versus IQ mentality, and it really applies in the success world.
Perfect. No, that's awesome. And, thank you once again, Michelle, for these, short, sweet, and crunchy answers. I'm sure our audience will love that. Thank you for sharing these insights. These are very practical, used, proven tactics that you have done at ONA. And I'm sure our audience will leverage that in their day-to-day job. So once again, from our team, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Customer Success Convos. That's it for this week's episode. Join us again next time to learn more about customer success tips and takeaways from industry leaders.